Hey everybody, Bob Babbitt here. This is Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Daytona and the PTO 2020 Championship. We are brought to you by Captiva Spine, John Hall Chevrolet, USA Triathlon, Foundation Risk Partners, and the PTO, the Pro Triathletes Organization. Our next guest, the defending champion of Challenge Daytona, Mr. Lionel Sanders. Lionel, how the heck you doing? It's great to see you back here.
It's great to be back, Bob. It's great to be at a race. We're finally at a race. We were just having a conversation, I think, like 2 months ago about you're on the fake sand background and everything. So, unfortunately, this is a cool backdrop, too. But
yes.
That Kona backdrop I did miss this year. So, hopefully we get back there next year.
Miss it as well.
Yeah.
So, you just set the 1 hour record on the Velodrome in Canada. And obviously, you wanted to break the hour record, but I'm sure a lot of that had to do with wanting to be really prepared for this race in this type of cycling.
It 100% had to do with this race. Of course, that was a goal of mine. I basically got that back in like 2015 to one day try and break the Canadian record. But this year presented itself as the absolute perfect time to do it, specifically because I knew that this race was going to be probably the only race that happened. And as it turned out, it literally will be the only race that I do this year in real life. And so I knew from last year doing this race just how unique this bike course is and what it does to your run legs in particular. And if you recall, at the end of that run with about 1 mile to go, right as I had started to pull away from Pablo, I started feeling my hamstring tighten up. And it was the first time I'd heard stories about this. Was the first time where I ever actually thought, oh my gosh, like that hamstring's going to go and I'm going to be on the side of the road and get like 10th place. And so I knew that was because of the bike. And so I knew that I needed to prepare specifically, especially against the talent that's going to be here and that is here for this race, run talent in particular. I knew that I was going to have to do a very, very specific preparation. And so that's what I did. And the 1 hour thing allowed me to do that and to have something in the middle of the two races to focus on.
When you finished the 1 hour, do you feel that you could have run 5 steps?
I don't think I could have run 5. I couldn't have put my running shoes on in order to run 5 steps. I'd had to done the run in the bike shoes, which wouldn't have been good either. No, honestly, I actually did think about that because my dad actually mentioned, he said, well, you should actually just go out in the parking lot and see what it would feel like. And anyways, I went to take the bike shoes off and I literally felt like my glute was going to rip off of my bone. Yeah. And so I had to sit down to take I'm not joking in any way. Like I had to sit down. It was impossible to take the bike shoe off. So no, I could not have run after that. But that's a little more unique than this in the sense of it's literally you have to hold the line. And so if you let's say you're going, it's a corner every 5 seconds.
Right.
And so if you take your concentration off even for literally 1 second, you're 3-4 feet up the wall. And I did that a couple of times. And I did it another time where I almost hit the yellow things on the inside to keep you from cutting the course. And so because of that, you can't even really adjust your neck. You can't adjust anything. And so it's 1 hour straight with the exact same muscle recruitment pattern, and that just fries I don't know if there's any way you could really train for that other than to just do that, to ride on the velodrome 1 hour, never adjust or anything. So fortunately, this race, you can actually adjust. So it's not like, I'd say it's like 80% of the taxation that you'll feel on your posterior chain compared to a velodrome session.
So this year it's a little longer. It's closer to a 50-mile bike, right? And it's 11 miles or so on the run. A little longer than last year.
Yeah.
Does that concern you?
Well, the swimming portion concerns me.
1.2.
It's a longer swim. Yeah. Now I do believe last year's swim was a little long because like the top swimmers swam like 120 per 100, which they would not swim 120 per 100. So I do believe it was probably closer to like maybe 1,800 last year to meters to begin with. So fortunately, they don't extend it even further and make it a 2,500 meters swim or something. That'd be a real pain. But no, I mean, yeah, the swim increased a little bit, but the bike increased by 20K and then the run increased by about 5K. So that obviously is going to help me. It's still not. It's slightly longer than a 70.3 swim, but less than the bike and the run. So not ideal for me, but. For me, this is setting me up because I do want to make a real go at the 70.3 World Champs next year. And so if I can do well under these circumstances, then I know I can do really well at the 70.3 Worlds because I'll have another 10K of biking and 3K of running. So for me, that's definitely one thing that I have to look forward to, I guess, moving forward if I'm able to. Now, if I do poorly, then, well, I'm screwed every way you slice it. So
when you look at the field, I mean, last year we had a good field. This year we have an epic field. All right, you've got the Brownlee brothers, you've got Gustav, you've got you name them, they're here.
Just Jan's the only one.
Jan's the only one missing, right? Yeah. But
and Pablo actually.
Yeah.
Pablo. Yeah.
But with the field here and having guys you've never raced before, Vincent Luis and guys like that, you excited about that?
Yeah, well, I'm very nervous. I'm not excited. I don't know what excitement is. I'm very nervous, actually. I think, I haven't been really nervous going into a race in quite a while, and I think it's good because, and I said this to David, my coach David, that, I know I'm invested now. I'm reinvested because I used to go to races, I wouldn't say nervousness, but just, you've got that energy because you've devoted your life to something for the last, I've basically devoted the last 6 months to preparing for one thing. And so you're invested in this thing, and so there's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of this is my life,
right?
And so I definitely feel that energy inside of my body right now, and that's good. I haven't felt that in a while. Going to Kona and say, oh man, you're a little too relaxed. You're a little too aloha for something you should have devoted the last year of your life to. And so I feel that energy. There's a lot of uncertainty, of course, from my standpoint. I have no idea where I'm going to come out of the water. I've worked hard on my swim and I'm in good shape, but that's meaningless. Right. I'm going up against guys who are truly the limit of, these guys could probably be national or international level swimmers. And so, there's fear there. Absolutely. Yes. But I think I proved that I have a pretty good bike. You know what I mean? Yeah, I have at least a national level biking capabilities. Right. And so, I need to perform at that scale on Sunday. At the very least, and then figure out a way to run off of that. So yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for that, and I've also been extremely nervous for the level of suffering that's going to occur because when you swim like me, the bike run combination is absolutely massive, and I would say is going to take me to the limits of my capacity, and so. You get a little nervousness inside knowing that there's this thing coming in a few days that's going to take me to the absolute limit of my capacity. And so yeah, I'm excited for it though. I live for this stuff, and I know that the pain's going to come and it's going to scream at me to stop, and I'm going to keep going. I know I can from last year. Actually, that was one of my best. I had really conceded the race. Really, I said second place is good. Like he's what a great athlete. Right. As Pablo was 8 meters ahead of me. I don't know why. I just kept going, though. I just kept going and kept going and kept going. And then finally, I figured out the plan, and it was to surge, and then he slowed down. And so then I finally said, I figured this game out. And so then it was right around that time where he surged. I was able to hold on his shoulder, and then I just kept his pace going. And then I hit a gap opening up on him. And then that's when I knew I had him. And then that's when my hamstring almost locked up, and then I was going to get last place. But I knew from last year that I can suffer very good. Yeah. It's just you get nervous knowing that you're going to have to go there. I will have. There is no mistaking. If you come out of the water where I come out, there's only one way to win a race, and it's to go to the absolute limit. Being able to race, right? Because most of the time, when you got second in Kona, Patrick Lenge came by, right? It's not like you wanted to stay with him. But my mind wanted to stay. Your body was saying no mas. It was no, there was nothing left. It was out. No, which is great. It's the mark of a good. When you have a race like that, when you're able to go side by side with somebody and feel their breath and feel what's going on, you're going inside yourself. They're going inside themselves. You're looking at them, going, boy, they look easy. It looks like they have no problem. But if they're going as hard as you are, they're working too. Well, talk a little about just the being in a race like you had last year with Pablo and how cool that was. Of all the things I've experienced in my life, I would say that those are some of the most powerful and unique experiences. You are two human beings in the moment. Like there is no thinking about, what am I going to have for dinner tonight and stuff. Like there's literally, you are fully engaged in every way, shape, and form. You're at the limits of your capacity, and you almost feel like you're beyond the limit of your capacity, and this guy's pulling away. And so it's such a unique experience that keeps you coming back for more. Like it's as dreadful when you sit here and think about it, like, oh my God, I can't believe I got to go there again. But then when you go there and afterwards, you're like, wow, it's so powerful. And it just makes you feel so strong and so alive. And I absolutely live for that. And I encourage people to, I believe this is what endurance sport does for humanity. What we get out of this is those types of experiences of being fully engaged with your body and with the surroundings, with people, with other people. And so it's a privilege if you get to, you get two guys. I've had a couple of times where I've had the privilege of being in races where it takes so many things. Jan, for instance, last year in Kona, I mean, there was no one else who was at that level in the whole world.
Right.
So it's like, unfortunately for him, he didn't get that experience. Of course, he took his body to a new level and blah, blah, blah. But to have a guy next to you side by side and you're both questioning yourself whether or not, can I go a little bit faster? Can I go a little bit further? The whole thing is just so many levels to that experience, but it's an amazing experience that I hope people do get to experience at some point.
Did you get on the track today?
I did, yeah. I rode about 30 minutes, pretty chill as you can ride when you got 50 guys riding around, also trying to ride chill, but also trying to flex a little. Yeah, I did my best.
And so when you were riding out there, if the conditions are like this on Sunday?
If the conditions are like this, it was, for whatever reason, the way the wind's coming, it seemed like it was a headwind most of the way. Like there was never really much where you got, usually you make it up on a section, but the way the wind's coming, you didn't really make up much time. So I would say it would probably be at least 2 kilometers or close to 1.5 miles per hour slower than it was over 60K.
Right.
Over 80K this time, yeah.
So last year in Kona, you ran with Alistair Brownlee. You guys were suffered together.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd call it running. Alistair Brownlee and I did something resembling, I don't know, shuffling.
Got from point A to the finish line.
Yeah. We were both in a bad place.
Yeah, but that could be renewed here.
Sure. I mean, if we look anything like that, yeah, we're in trouble.
In terms of, you've got both Brownlee brothers, and you've got Henry Schoonman, you've got Olympic medalists.
Yeah, everyone's here.
The
man.
opportunity to go head to head with those guys and go side by side.
I don't really get this opportunity, right? When you swim like me, you don't get the opportunity to race these guys. So for me, what a privilege. There's no other opportunity.
Well, and having the 20-meter draft rule I think it's huge.
Yeah, it's game over for me without a 20-meter draft rule.
Exactly.
I mean, it's got to be a non-drafting bike, and so fortunately the PTO heard. And I do believe from a race standpoint, I mean, we already have draft legal stuff. Let's see. It's a different sport, really. It's a different type of triathlon, and let's actually make it non-drafting. And it's very easy, and we're going to do it on Sunday.
No problem. Mm-hmm. So the other thing that's happening is Collins Cup coming up in a race that you've won before in Samarin, right? And I've heard that you've already put in to go head-to-head with Jan there, because it's going to be international.
I put in my request to the international coaches. I had just by chance, because I used to swim at this little pool with Lisa Bentley.
Yes.
When I was just coming up with Barry Shepley in that area of Caledon, Ontario. Anyways, I have her email, so I just planted the seed that if you give me Jan, I will give you the performance of the day. I promise you. And so I don't know. Him. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, how many more opportunities am I going to get to go head to head with Jan? And I feel like Jan's come to all the races that I've been at with him, and he did his side of the deal. But I mean, I just feel like I didn't devote myself to it like I have for this race, for instance. And so I just want one more shot where I know the date of the race. And I get to devote myself, and if I lose, it's no problem. I can sleep with that. But at least let me get there, having put everything, my mind, body, spirit, to the best of my ability, and get me on the start line. And so if the Collins Cup happens and they allow that matchup to happen, then I promise you that I will get there with mind, body, and spirit in the right place.
So during this time when you were gearing up for the 1 hour, and at the same time you went out and ran your fastest 5K, right? So in terms of your fitness for this race, do you feel you've checked every box and you are ready to go?
I couldn't have done any better. Yeah, I couldn't have asked any more of myself. So both my wife and then David Tilbury Davis, my coach, both said that I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in. So and the numbers also indicate that. So, I mean, it's irrelevant. What your training peak says is irrelevant, but it indicates that I'm in the best shape I've ever been in, and I have to be in the best shape I've ever been in to have any shot. And so, I don't need to talk about it. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do the absolute best performance I can with the things that I have, and know that I am in the best shape that I've ever been in. And if it's good for first, it's good for first, and it's good for 10th, I'll be happy with that too.
14:34 5K on the track. That's pretty impressive.
It's okay. I mean, it's okay. I watch these guys. I know where I stand in the world. Back in the day when I first got into this, that was good, right? In 2010 type time when I was just getting out of college, the best guys I knew who had went full ride to the States were 14 low, 13 high 5K guys. And so, 14 for me then, 14, I ran 14:50. I think I ran 14:56. And that was like, for me, that was like, okay, you're a very good runner. You're not going full ride scholarship or nothing, but you're a very good runner, right? To go full ride, you go 14 low. So 14:30s was like, for me, would be like the upper limit of what I could do with my mind then. And so then I achieved that this year. But unfortunately the bar goes higher, right? So it's like now, I mean, you could be a triathlete. Oh, you're 13:58. You could probably be a triathlete, right? That's what it would say now.
Right.
So it's that's just how sports goes, right? And we're all gifted with the same machinery. So, now when guys do it, when you watch Richard Murray and Hayden Wild and these guys who've run insane times this year, all 13:40, 13:30 type times, then you start saying, well, maybe I can too. Maybe I can do a little bit better too. And so that's where the 14:34 came. But I could show you the notebook. I already have 14:20 written down by the end of February. So, this is what happens. This is what athletics is. This is the beauty of it, is that, you need other people to take you to new places and to show you that it's possible. And then maybe you start to believe in yourself that it's possible. And then you go out and train to do it and you make it a reality. And so these ITU guys have done that for us and continue to do that. And that's the nice part, the beautiful part about it.
And you get to go head to head.
And you get to go head to head with them too, and either get your ass handed to you or maybe help lift the sport a little higher as well. It's a win-win either way.
Lionel, you are always the best, man. Always so
thanks,
much fun
Bob.
to chat with.
You're great too, man.
Lionel Sanders, one of our favorite people on the planet, and we're going to see on Sunday if you can bring it home, brother, and defend your title.
That'll be fun. Whatever.
I love it. Lionel Sanders, everybody, again. Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Daytona PTO 2020 Championship. Hold on. We will be right